Um, what I'm about to share is something simple. It's ridiculous. And that's my mum boy, yeah. You have to bear with me, there's bloody noise going off. Okay. Not very well. She gave me the 2010. Hold on, I've got to get that. Yeah, can you do that? No. Okay, she gave me my first mobility white table, like you put for your bed. She gave me my first mobility sandals, 2010. Didn't appreciate it then as much as obviously now she's dead. I don't know how anybody's going to cope. I'm the only one in my position, apart from my sister's adult son who's got learning disability. That means physical complexity in my disabilities. It comes at a time you don't expect it. So I've been left in the dark, I suppose, of arrangements, funeral arrangements. And then there's a message on the messenger app, and there's a big family. I'm only the one out of them all in my position. In many ways. It's just so complex. And it's very hard to carry on with everyday struggles on top of all this. So I need to book a specialist type vehicle if it's available on that day. I have to avoid the school runs. It's on a Friday. And it's a Mormon church. No disrespect to the Mormons. It's going to be hard for me to cope. We're grieving. I don't think I've been able to accept reality just yet. I saw her body. I saw her on a deathbed. And I said my goodbyes. And it just didn't feel like her. And at least I had the opportunity, because sometimes life is short, you know. But my mum lived a good life. We never got on that well. And it's taken me years. As the youngest of 5, to forgive her. She's just human, like you all. And it is hard. I can't change the past, no matter how much I'd like. I've still got a difficult journey, and many of us have. These medical people, right? They're worried. In their own little way, you know, how this is affecting me. You know, it's the little things, you know. One thing at a time, that's all I can do. And I'm gonna embrace everything. It's gonna be hard work. That's what my mum was always about, hard work. I didn't appreciate it for so many years. And she did the best she could. It's all I can do in a memory. It's the best I can do. As you'd like to think. In her even dying days, you know, she was thinking of me. Like my older brother said, who was there in the family she not said goodbye to, you know. My mum wanted to go home. She wanted to be with Gran. She loved this guy, and he was a priesthood holder, and he did things to us. I won't make that public for respect of my other family members and their children of mine and their grandchildren and stuff like that. And that's affected me all my life. But he took advantage of my mum and the rest of us. We've all had to deal with that demon inside us. So that's what turned me against him always. I was raised in it, you see. And they do, all these years on, they do the best, especially nowadays, the way the world is going. You know, with teenagers and family relationships and stuff. I just went on my merry way, you know, being stubborn. I get that straight from my mum. She's always had that. She was a Tory and complete opposite to her. My other sister was always very close to her. And every one of us were, I suppose, their own little way. My older brother's always been like a head hold, you know, being a man of the family kind of thing. Because he had that responsibility. It must have been huge when he was younger, you know. But obviously, As my mum got older, she reminded me, last time I saw her in my own home, that she wanted to give up on life. And that's when she started deteriorating. I saw it every time. She missed the family being around her. It's all she cared about was the family. Apart from other things, of course. She taught my sister to crochet. Well, she did teach me, but I never picked it up. She did teach my other sister, but I don't know if she did pick it up. I think my other sister picked up the cooking, but I know the skills my sister, who's in business, has picked up very well, passed it on. And the family tree, I'm not in a good space at the moment, in the health-wise either. So I'm in no good state, really. I'd like to think eventually down the line I'll be in a better place in my situation. It's going to be hard work. So my mum's come through trials and tribulations. I'll get there eventually. But it's difficult right now. So unfortunately it's triggered off everything. Throughout my whole life I've had trauma. Good, I've had, reasonable good times as well. Nothing's all been bad, I've always been looking for a father figure ever since I was young, because I didn't know my dad. I knew about him, and I've always had issues with the whole family. I've always been the one that been left out of everything, only because I left. The way I left the Mormon religion, the way I was brought up, to find my own way, So I didn't do the things that my mother would have liked. There's families, isn't it? There's always one or two family members that go in different paths, And I wouldn't know half the things I know now if I hadn't. But she gave me a good grounding, It's just, I saw it in her eyes when she came. As she started getting older, she started giving up. And when, obviously, my kids got older and married and kids of their own, same with the rest of my brothers and sisters and their families. So she's left a legacy behind. Massive, large, extended family we've got now. But we don't all communicate. It's mainly my nephews and nieces who are married and got kids, and they all seem to communicate more than the different generation, I don't know, sometimes death brings people together. I know I've got an ex-army, my brother, how he joined the army and what happened and why he did. I've got a good memory about all that stuff, what happened. As I said, you can't change what's happened. It's just sometimes things affect you. Yeah, so although she had this picture of this guy on her wall all the time, we kept moving about. I never settled. I was always very, very good at sports. Not very academic, but very artistic and musical and sporty and things like that. And I lost space with a lot of these things, As you do in life. I like to think one day I might get something back or pick up a talent again, I don't know. I'd like to get my health stable first. Somehow. But I knew she's slipping away. I didn't see her, like my older brother and sister-in-law did, and my older family, older sister. because I'd got a half brother and half sister. I really don't know the full facts. I don't think I'll ever know. I think my mum had to cover up a lot of things because she went through herself a lot of trauma as a kid. And my grandmother, before she passed, I never got to say my goodbyes. Why that happened. It's frustrating because I had a knee operation that didn't work and then I deteriorated. And then I got one over and you end up in a wheelchair and everything happens ever since. So I don't want to go the way my mum's given up on life. It's just going to be bloody difficult with the limitations surrounding UK nowadays. And the way of working with the digital age, you know. So I know of a lady nearby. I saw her one time, not that long ago. Her mum passed away in January this year. And that was very refreshing, actually, in the sense of how she's grieving. I've known her for years before I become dependent on my wheelchair. And she's not like in my family religion, which is what I needed, you know. And then I bumped into someone else I've known for years, and he's a part of a different religion. And it's been so refreshing in a way I can't really put into words. I think all the 5 of us, siblings, will have our own emotions. But you see, I don't have my support network around me. They do. And my oldest son, my daughter-in-law, you'd have thought, wouldn't you? Would put whatever they've got to hang up about me, the differences aside, for the sake of the grandmother. And then I've got a daughter. Yeah, my grandkids. I know he's behind all that. You see, this is a thing I've had to work on me for, to forgive my mum for what she did all those years ago. I see why she did it, but she just tore into my personality. And the way who was behind it wasn't really deep down in my mum's heart. I know that. Because the way she held on waiting for me. And when she's pumped all these drugs, end-of-life care, they call it. And eyes weren't just like muscular movement, but she sensed I was there. And I couldn't physically get that close because my own physical disability frustrates me. Oh, I wish I had longer with her. I don't know. I think my brother went mad. He was the next of kin officially. And it is a bit odd, you know, she's always a stickler with paperwork. She'd always planned ahead for everything, like wills and a funeral arrangement. She always wanted to be buried near her mum. But she didn't my brother claims she didn't leave a will, which is very odd. And I know what my mum was like, because she always used to talk to me about it when she used to visit. How can you discuss this with family members that are going through grieving themselves? And they are in a particular religion, unfortunately, it's the way it is for them. I'm more open-minded than they are in a lot of things. And I know for a fact she would have left a will, It's not a lot she's got, it's just what her wishes are. She's always said to me so many times on the phone, in the letters, that she wanted to be by her own mum. Well, she is now in spirit, obviously, but her physical remains. She's not going to be, is she? She always wanted to be at home in Cornwall. She's going to end up being buried in a cemetery. I mean, what do they call it? That place they bury the physical body opposite the Water Church. That is not what my mum wants. I knew that all along. I knew that. And the message today, this messenger app thing. I look back on the message of the funeral arrangements. My sister be doing a poem. My mum was actually, I think that's where my other sister picks up the talent of poetry, perhaps. My mum was very good at English and writing, and a lot of other things. But when she started confiding in me about the family not seeing her, I was a listening ear for her. She helped me when I got one over, you see, the church friends. She had a lot of friends. That was something unique about my mum. And when she wanted to move away from Plymouth, I didn't want her to go. I was the last one at home, sold it up, selling off everything. And I just finished college. And I wanted to stay. She got this opportunity to work abroad in Canada. And at a young age, I was so young, green behind the ears kind of thing. I haven't seen much of life. And then I didn't think, she said, oh, that's why I ended up where I am all these years. As I said, can't change the clock. If I'd stayed down there, could have had a different life. You see, you can't take the Celtic blood out of someone's makeup, or the DNA. That's what my ancestries are. My mum, my gran, me. Yeah, so we've all got a natural talent somewhere. I just got to find mine. Again, they're still somewhere. One thing I did over the years is make sure, despite not having a good relationship with the Mormon family, because of things, I made sure, as the kids got older my own, that they would always have a relationship with their gran, despite everything. And the odd time she'd babysit, and I would be going training in London. And a lot of the time I was struggling. In many personal ways. My mum could see through it all. I couldn't. But she would take on a Sunday, our kids to the church. And that's how my daughter got interested. I'd always raise them to say, well, wait till you're 16 or whatever, make your own mind up in religion. So you do the best you can by them, Well, of course, I didn't expect things to happen with my daughter the way it did. And as I said, you can't turn the clock, but as an adult in her own right, you just choose that way. And, she's all these nowadays, the modern era, you got all these apps and technology now, haven't you? All different. Everyone's entitled to the way they want to live. And I just focus on me, not being selfish. I can't change my grown up son and daughter the way they are. It's up to them. It's a shame because it should not be that way. I didn't raise my son and daughter to turn away from me. I'd always kept the communication open, especially since I ended up so ill last year and since. And they just stopped talking to me. And there's something I could do to build bridges. And my own sister, this is what gets me. My own religious family members are always in communication with them. They're not me. So what have I done? I know I haven't done anything or said anything untoward to cause anyone harm, like stress in my own family. And if I had, want the other decency or go through a mediator, a family member, to say something. But no. So, I don't know. They'll just take time, and I hope they don't waste time to come to me in their own little way. I'm still existing the best I can, like anyone can, in circumstances. So, like somebody said to me, perhaps they can't just cope with my reduction in my health. I mean, they've got their own lives, but still, you can't pick your family, can you? You can't, connected by DNA. But it's a shame, the emotions, the real genuine, the way I raised them, they're always going to develop as an adult in their own way. And I'm proud of them. So I'm quite impressed with my own blood family, the way they're trying to organise things for them. And the way they're trying to include me sensitively, knowing the way, unfortunately, my health isn't very good. So yeah, I think hence the story, really. No pressures gets in the way when there's still things to do and things don't get put on hold just because, unfortunately, you have a loved one that's died. The world keeps turning over. The clock keeps ticking away. And it's remembering the spirit and the essence of the individual, I suppose. We've got different ways of handling things. I don't think I'll ever be a Mormon again. But I've got full respect for them. It's just the way I've had a video on this channel, I might delete it. When you go through personal trauma and it's the individual at fault, not the Mormon church at fault. I realise that now. You definitely didn't look like my mother laying there. I suppose, you know, it's not very helpful, really, when you look at old photos, does it? Comparison of the facial features and things like that. I knew she's always in that hospital, and I've all got the letters. I don't know what I'm going to do. I might just try and get them in a special frame or something. Or save them onto a digital drive. I'm not sure yet or not. I just know if I end up going up in hospital again, they're with me. They're in my bag all the time. Today was one of them days. With sudden ill health and stuff. Never a day goes by without something happening in one's life. I mean, she lived a good old age, you know. 84. I still see her in her late 70s. A very good picture of health at her 70s, even though she still had a lot of health problems. And that's when she started getting lonely. I saw pictures of her in her 60th birthday. You know, sometimes when you think your family's going to live on and live on. I mean, the technology there is there. And to technology now for the human individual body to exist in a different format. And who knows, by the time my grandchildren are getting that age, what the technology would be like. That you can transform. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, people, there's all this technology about it, isn't there? I'm just trying to have a late salad. So, I suppose my mum was very good. I've got a hurricane cook, I don't know what you call it, but some kind of, my sister sent me. I don't know how my friends need a weekend. This weekend might be a good ideal time to use this specialist type cooker. Like a hurricane heater, but it's like a oven cooker thing. And it's so expensive to buy. But this is my mum's. And she used it. She's always, I don't know how she just read books about cooking. I've still got the iron board she gave me. And the iron. And because of my disability, I don't go nowhere. I don't socialise. But that will have a christening, I think, next week. My friends to try and pick up some kind of clothing. Because I wear special type of clothing nowadays. And I don't like it to be all black. That needs to be respectful. And I've lost weight, so it needs to fit. So I have to go through whatever I've got. I give it to my mum. She never had anything really. Raising 5 children on her own. And that's when the missionaries of the Mormon church knocked on the door. American. And we had a great time when we were younger, you know. I think sometimes you block out the trauma that you have as a kid. And then Imagine being one of 5, the youngest of all. In a way, some people don't have big families, they're just themselves. And that must be difficult if their family members die too. So, I don't know, maybe perhaps it might, I don't know what you do in, well, the Mormon church for funerals. I haven't been to, I can't remember if I was younger and I went to a funeral. I haven't been to a funeral in many, many years. You just see things and TV and stuff years ago. I think my brother wants to make a fuss in a respectful way from the retirement village to the church, which I don't know how far away that is. I've got to get my friend to work it out for me, because I need to hire the vehicle. So unfortunately, can't dwell on the past. Can only move forward somehow. I bet my mum wants out anyway. She'll be there. What you doing? Being stubborn. The cutbacks are going on, you see, for people like me in my area. And that means we don't get much choice or say, and meant to, and what we need in life now. And that's the way the world is going. So it's all about learning new things, and I don't cope with change, you see. I need to try and adapt. I know what my mum was saying. You can do it if you put your mind to it. It's true what they say about that, you know. I just wish my body would be into gear. But she just gave up in the end. She just had enough. She knew that the rest of the family would be okay. She'd done the job. That's how she looked upon it. In the religion, when you know, you get to know everyone's different in the where they're raised and stuff. And I did all the baptism for the dead and did all these scripture studies and I hated everything. I was this typical teenager. And a lot of it in my later years was just rebelling against it all. The strict upbringing. And I suppose as you get older and things happen, you start to mellow out a bit. And it does take time. And thank goodness I had the opportunity to say that to my mum. I remember a time in my own. She'd always kick up stink for me. I was in that hospital when I was young. I didn't even know I couldn't have kids the way normal people can. In them days, you didn't get all these tests that you do get nowadays. So I was always in that hospital when I was a young woman. And my mum was always there for me. kicking up stink and making sure the doctors did what they had to do. I didn't appreciate it then. I just saw interference. But then when she helped me in here, things like got personally going on, serious stuff against me, and she was even being traumatised by evil certain individuals that used to live around there. And she was very good at English. So all that skills in Canada, and over the years she come back and stuff, and moved up this area eventually. I used to visit her a lot, actually. Make an effort, you know. Like where I used to live years ago. Always make an effort, you know. Always make sure, you know, spend time with her when I could. Because when I hear that family members weren't bothering with her, you know, despite our differences, you know, you respect your mum's home, don't you? And one thing I don't want to see happening to me. I don't know what kind of technology it'd be eventually. If I last that long, my mum's age, it'd be about, you never know. There might be a technical system out there, might recover, who knows? All this technology about, advanced technology, you never know. Have implants in your head or something to stop having all these things that keep happening to me. All these personal medical things. But my mum was very good at natural healing. I think that's why I picked the talent up about natural herbs. She's always reading. Apart from her religious side. She's very skillful in research. You know, but you know, not on the computer. I mean, she eventually got the hang of using a mobile phone. But and eventually, I think my nephew's nieces taught her to use a computer. But I think my mum hated it. But she did get some hang of using Facebook one time. I was amazed by that. So she was always adapting to change. But then the body just gave out. She's always a green finger. Always into gardening. Even in the late, she got much older, before she lost her physical health. Always growing flowers. We were raised to grow our own food. Not like nowadays, what people do. And she taught us all that. And I always said, if I had my health, I'll be on a plane tomorrow. And I'll be living off the grid. You know, with an organic farm or something, just helping out for free, for board and living, you know. And learning about plant life and nature. Always love nature. And if I ever get myself stable in my life, I like to think perhaps I can do nature photography or something using technology. No idea, but I've always had an eye, a key eye. I picked up that from my mum, I know that, for detail. I know, perhaps that's why I'm always into I hate paperwork, but that's why I always look at the small print. But there is things I need to break the cycle off, I know that. Eventually, somehow, I cope with the grief, eventually, and I'll perhaps have a different life altogether. Who knows? But it's all about learning new things, isn't it? And perhaps this horrific situation with my mum will give me that opportunity. Don't know. I just know it's going to be a bloody tough ride. And my mum's had it bloody well hard. And I don't think she'll want to see me. The rest of the family will go on situations in life, no matter, I don't know, the richest man, I know, maybe. Who knows? The richest individuals in the world might have their own problems. But I was raised at humble beginnings and always make do with what I got. You don't catch me with the latest gadgets. Even if I had all the cash in the world, I would never do that. That's how my mum raised me. And that's how my other sister is. Yeah, unfortunately, I need to try and build up my own personal situation. Is not my doing. In my home environment especially, but the way the certain individuals look at it in their jobs, that is going to be the biggest hurdle. On top of a lot of things, but at the moment, today is about remembering. I don't know. I think I've just blocked it out of my mindset, the reality at the moment. Oh, my mum's dying, you know. I think it's a coping mechanism. I think one of these. So these, these men and women in their job role, bits of paper saying, "Oh, I'm a doctor," blah blah blah, and just say, "Well, this is." Not that long ago, a couple of weeks back, they're saying that this was all raised from everything. The effect of my mum's death is escapated, whatever the word is. Set off everything to the forefront. Everything's been dormant for years. So much personal trauma, you haven't overcome. And it's just all gone forefrontal, all resurfaced. So I learn these scriptures, the odd one or two. One, not expert at it, very rusty. The Lord is my shepherd. I lay down. I can't even remember the words. Because I'm not very visual. I like watching and listening rather than reading. Find it easier that way. This is the nature of my ill health, the way it is. So I know I sense a spirit around me. I had 2 accidents recently, very bad ones, and they couldn't get a doctor out to me unless they call an ambulance. And it wasn't that bad of an ambulance. So I have been physically injured. So, and them 2 times, one, a box dropped, and in that was the old videotapes and was a cassette tape that my mum gave to me years ago, and I forgot all about. And it was some instrumental music on a cassette player. And how ironic, only a few weeks before that, I got one of these cassette players that ready for this medical thing. Going to undertake like thousands of people in my position undertaking, and I need to get another one. And then I found, well, my mate found it for me, a whole bag full of all these old cassette tapes of beautiful relaxation music. So I think that was a hint somehow to play that to help me heal. Somehow. So I noticed that worked in a way when I was dealing with a lot of pressures not that long ago. On top, I'm still going through, and I need to try and do that again tomorrow. And then the other accident, I don't know what's wrong with my spine, and I'm just so weak more than I used to be. And I crashed into the wall in my lounge. I don't normally have an accident like that, ever. And I'm injured on my right side again. So it's my neck, my spine, my right shoulder, my right arm and hand, and bottom of my spine. Because I put my hand out to block me hitting that wall with the wheelchair, like. So of course, trying to get home visit, the doctor said, well, it's just as bad as a break in your bone or something, it's going to take weeks to heal, and I didn't realise. So typical me, thinking the weather's going to be crap again. I was trying to get a few bits on a Sunday recently. I should have been in bed resting. But something in my mind said, I need to get some dry food in. Pasta, that I don't normally have. And dried stuff that will last. My mum always was into storage. And I heard about these DWP benefits changes it could affect thousands of people, and I can't just get in a wheelchair to a food bank. So whether it was ironically her spirit working in me, my sister thinks so. And if that hadn't happened, and I needed to rest, I wouldn't have found some old photographs and when it was hot weather, my mum gave me this desk fan. She gave it to me in 2010. It's been sitting in her cupboard since 2010 in the kitchen. So I asked a friend of mine to look around if I had some spare cups or something. Plastic ones, easy ones to hold, because I couldn't hold anything. The straws and stuff. And there she found my old medical notes I've been looking for years for. I thought I didn't have it since 2010. It's all my right side injuries. How I sustained my injuries when I got one over that I never got. All of these spine and physical examinations I should have had at the hospital when I first got one over local. And I had all this, another start of my onset. I still can't get my head around it, so to speak. Something in the brain is not sending signals down to the body or something. And it could be trauma-based, I don't know. I'm not an expert, none of this. But anyway, I found the key bit of evidence I needed for these public servants in the job role. So that needs to be photocopied and to send over, because a certain public servant don't believe I have these physical disabilities because she hasn't read my medical notes properly, because they're pressurised in the job role, you see, and the cutbacks in my area even more. And my sister reckons that was my mum's spirit, perhaps, also working in various ways. Who knows? But I know this for sure. I'll carry on. I will get through all this again. And that's what life is about. So, the long-term aim, if I get that far, I like to think so, to be an inspiration for others that are going through similar what I'm going through. So much on top. The pressure is so huge, or the grief, the pressure dealing with so much other things going on in one's life. But I know one very good thing now, more than ever, that we are only on this physical earth for a very, very, very short period of time in the bigger scheme of things. So I started this channel off years ago on weather. Yeah, all things. It's turning into a housing issue. Now it's turning into morbid kind of subject, I know. But it's personal. With my experience, also being physically unwell myself, and then going through all this and the death of my mum on top, and how I'm getting by or not, or my journey, if it helps anyone out there, this can only be a good thing. If it doesn't, then don't even listen. That's the only reason I've kept this channel open. Otherwise, I would have been deleted a long time ago. I do have another channel set up, so that will be my journey after. I think I'll use that from my experience to show how I'm trying to cope with these challenges ahead. I haven't done anything with it yet. And then I'll be going in a different direction. But everything's uncertain right now, because obviously this is all still raw. And I've still got a lot of things, major things to deal with, not little. But for now, time's to end this stream. And I know my mum's in a better place. Well, I know that for sure. Her spiritual energy, I know that for sure. No matter what people's beliefs are, I've seen and experienced all sorts in life. And you just get to know things, Well, you do. And it's not about the latest gadgets, what you wear, you're connected to, if you can get the golden handshake deals, what club you belong to, and all this so-called stuff going on in life. I know a lot of stuff. I just keep quiet about it. What's the point? Whoever harms another man and woman on this earth is only going to get what goes around comes around. And all those that's causing on constant harm and harm stress to people in my position and situation, well, they're just going to, when their time comes, I like to see how they're going to answer to their maker. You know what I mean? We don't always get the chance to say goodbye to loved ones. I know. Should heavily the DNA of my mum is in so many of my members of the family, extended, and it should never got in that sense. Her physical body's gone. She hasn't gone. She's in me. She's in so many of us. And if you're going through, or you've lost somebody yourself, and you think you got your life, you know, how many people really can look at life and think, one day I'm going to end up dying? You know? People work in the industry all the time now. Just know, get used to it. People work in these care homes and all these places, just see it all the time. I don't know how they do it. They have to have a certain strength and personality and training for it all. I take my hat off to those who work in these environments and hospitals and stuff. I really don't know how they do it. And why they choose their professions the way they do. I really don't. Our minds are a complex thing, our bodies are complex. When you get to know who you really are, that is a challenge in itself. It's taken me years to do meditation. I've worked on myself. Nobody could help me but me. Nobody could say to me, oh, the fact of things happen in my personal life. It's how my personality is now. Can't change that. You can only adapt and learn new ways of doing things. And that's what I hope to do in a different way than I used to. I have to have a laugh really, because I called up this doctor and I was all over the place. Not thinking right at all. And I just remember one time when I used to be a right pain in the butt. She couldn't say anything, being professional in a job role. She just laughed out loud. She couldn't help herself. It's so funny. And it's hard to build up new relationships when things haven't worked out before, because there's baggage, you know? And you can't hold on to baggage. It just makes you unhealthy. It's not good for your body or your inner spirit. It's not good for you. And I know this too well. So for all you blinking plebs out there that still want to bloody well go on your high horse with me, well, be my guest. I don't care anymore. You know, I've already gone through just as much as I can go through, and there's still more to come, I know. But I know my spirit, my mum's around me always, so I got that protection. You ain't going to take that away from me. Nobody can take that away from anyone. When you have that strong belief in yourself that you'll get through it eventually, there's not going to be an easy ride. Life wasn't built like that. Well, you might think it's all lovely now. Oh, yes, I've got a good job, good house, and good connections, and lovely family, and I'm all rosy Jack kind of thing. Yeah, great. You wait 1 minute, you could be driving down that road, next minute you're bang in a car accident and you're dead. Or that beautiful, innocent young child being born to a beautiful couple or family, whatever make-up situation family is nowadays. And unfortunately, it's born with defect or it dies. You see, it's out of our hands or this life. It's not this physical essence. It's just existing. We have another journey. Maybe, depending on your belief system, many journeys. But you know what I find? I get pleasure out of the beautiful, innocent little things, simple little things. Seeing the little flower that tried to struggle in this way the world is, and the earth. Seeing the little flies that annoy me in the hot weather. You know, it ain't going to be pretty. It's not going to be easy dealing with people. I know it's not going to be easy facing these people and things I need to face. And I ain't going to crowd this issue tonight with all that stuff. What I could say, I'll save that for another day when I've got my energy. Today, I had vertigo. Well, I know it wasn't vertigo. I knew it was something else going on. It's another sign of a dramatic, whatever medical term they use, another symptom of stroke kicking off. But I ain't been doing that now. And I knew I had to just somebody just said, put on YouTube of all things, and it turned to a natural way to put pressure points. And that's what I'm trained years ago. I know about pressure points and why I forgot about all this to help myself. So today, things happen in strange ways. And I'd learned about a certain pressure point on my forehead with the thumb onto a certain point on the head. And I'm going to keep doing that pressure because it stopped the vertigo. So, and that you don't need to take a pill for that. And that was amazing. And I don't know, so sometimes things happen in your subconscious mind and you go and look for something, and obviously there's YouTube, and about this video, because I thought symptoms of this dizziness, I mean, the bloody room is spinning around. And it's dangerous in people in my position. So I said to my mate, no, there's no way I can eat anything. Because when you vertigo, you got the nausea and everything, you know. Well, I knew my stomach's rumbling because I hadn't eaten. Well, you know, proper food, like, well, the food I can't eat proper food anymore. I've got to end anyway now, this stream. So things happen for a reason. And I know all this is going to hit me soon. I know it's going to eventually. But I know there are people out there that's gone through a lot. And, you know, this bereavement counselling thing in my area, they won't help. They're not helping anybody for 8 months after. So I don't know what that's about. I'm not an expert. I've never had all this. I've had my people I know of pass, but not like real close, like my mum, obviously. I survived so much, and sometimes you survive things, so much trauma. I need to go through things in life. If I hadn't gone through certain things in the past, and I don't know, well, what I am is what I am now. And if I hadn't learned about pressure points and years ago and natural health years ago when I was able-bodied, I don't know, I wouldn't have thought about doing certain, that just coming, the thought pattern just came. But sometimes there's, you know, things happen behind the scenes. Sometimes things happen mysteriously without real reason. So don't need to be reason for things. It just happens. And if you spend all your life thinking about stuff too much, oh, good luck on that one. You're wasting your life away. I wasted too much time thinking about things over years. Just trust your gut. You know what's right for you. I know what's meant to be right for me. I just know I need to go through different paths and journeys to get to the end result and to get in the stable situation I need to be in properly. And it's not just me on my own. I need external help and all this. Things I'm very proud. I've always have been a stubborn, proud individual, and that's what I get from my mum. She was always a proud, stubborn woman. She would just say to me, no, come on. You know, you need to. You know, ain't going to be nice. She was like, I was a kid growing up, you know, you do things at school or college and you can do it. Like, and I did. Got my training in college and did what I did, you know, and I was running for the county years ago. I used to live in running and stuff. Always very sporty. And it's sad luck, it's just not the end of the world. And I think that there's people out there that surviving on limited ability in themselves, and they're still succeeding. It's hard when there's cutbacks and public services and stuff. And what they say, there's a will, there's a way. And that's all I have to say. So, before this phone dies on me, I better end this stream because my mate's Yeah, thanks for coming. It's a bit late, aren't I? As I had to rest up all day again. So God bless everybody. What belief systems you are. This is for my mum. I don't think I'll be doing anything on the day. My mum's anything leading up to the day, actually, next week. And for a while, because I think it might hit me bad. I should try and get things in place. I know now who to contact and what to contact, you know, if I do have a bad reaction after Mum's funeral. That's the main thing. And at least I was able to research that. My mum gave me that. I've got a message. I've got to go now, but God bless everybody and keep safe. If you're going through a lot yourself, we're here only once, in a sense, in this physical life. That's what I have to say, really. Gonna take time. I don't know to find out. Is it that one? Yeah, I think it's trying to point in the right way.